It's showtime. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Ooh, let's go racing today, boys.
Watson takes a snap, rolls right, looks into the end zone. Hunter in front, caught it. Touchdown! Touchdown!
Welcome to WrestleMania!
It's now my honor to announce that the first ever virtual NFL draft is officially open.
Blitz coming. Mariota throws in the end zone. Man is there. Touchdown, Titans!
I'm hopeless in the crossfire. There's nowhere to go. I'm holding my desires. My heart overflows. The only direction that I'll ever need is a deeper connection that's leading me. And I'm lost in your love when you hold me. Just hold me, 'cause I don't wanna run from your heartbeat. Your heartbeat, no, 'cause I'm lost in your love. I can't break the flow, you're taking it all. I'm lost in your love. I'm lost in your love. I'm lost in your love. I'm lost in No words can change the future of us. The waves, they break, but we are enough. The only direction that I'll ever need is a deeper connection that's leading me. And I'm lost in your love when you hold me. Just hold me, 'cause I don't wanna run from your heartbeat. Your heartbeat, no, 'cause I'm lost in your love. I can't break the flow, you're taking it all. I'm lost in your love. 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 Lost in your I'm lost in your
Separated through the miles, searching for the end.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Experts of Racing SportsCast here live on Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube. Thank you for joining us if you are right here or even if you're watching afterwards. Thank you for showing your support. Real quick before we get into it, be sure, if you haven't already, follow, share, whatever. Like the page if you're on Facebook. If you're on YouTube, subscribe and click the notification bell so you do not miss anything. Part of the Experts of Racing Sportscast here live with the usual suspects in the booth. we have Vols fan 88 and crew chief Robert Harding. Vols is he's on a trip right now, so I would not expect him to be able to talk much currently. Hopefully, we can get him in here for the first segment. But let's go ahead and send it over to crew chief Robert Harding. Robert, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing great, ready to get this show on the road. Make sure to follow me on Twitter, Crew Chief Harding.
Oh, Lord.
And Instagram.
Here we go. Here we go.
I need more followers, man.
Oh, my Lord. And then we have, of course, going to the usual suspect who has got a family affair in the truck. Got a whole group of his family in the truck that he's driving right now. And but this is first podcast back in the United States after returning home. He's got to go back, I believe, in a little bit. But Vols fan 88 is joining us here today. Vols, how you doing, man?
Well, irritated from the trip. Got on a little tangent before we started this one, but we're doing good. Sitting in my truck, my beautiful F-150, 2013 style. Very nice. You should go to your local Ford company. Ford sponsor us. Yeah, go follow Robert Harding on Twitter.
A little tangent.
Okay, well, we don't need to go back into that, but going into today, we have two very special guests. One was featured, I believe, on the last podcast, that being Rock NASCAR, and then we have a new one, Unforgotten Shadow, the owner of the Shadow Racing League here on Xbox. He's going to be joining us throughout the stream. He said that he might be interested in hopping in on some topics. So, I mean, he's open and well to do so. And then Rock, I think, Rock, we have an announcement around you coming towards the end of the show. So definitely stick around, man. Shadow definitely wants you to be here with that announcement. So, how about, without further ado, let's head into the first segment, guys. And the first segment's going to be Wrestling Weekly, of course. This is going to be a big one for Mr. Radford himself. Coming up, we are heading into the Royal Rumble. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, mixed up on my dates, it's going to be this Sunday, I believe. I think it is this Sunday. Yeah.
Yep, Sunday night.
It's going to be a big one. We are unfortunately not going to be doing the watch party. We discussed that we're going to save that for Mania, but the Royal Rumble coming up this Sunday, and it's probably going to be there's a lot of rumors, and I think this is probably the most unpredictable Rumble that we're heading into this upcoming Sunday. I mean, there's a lot of people. Usually you could speculate who's going to end up winning it. There's so many options this year that, I mean, a lot of people have no idea. And when they're already exposing like surprise returns, like Edge announced that he's coming back and didn't have that as a surprise return, there's got to be something big that's coming pretty soon for the Rumble as far as returns. And a lot of people are speculating. Jerry, what do you think that possible return might be? There's a lot of hidden secrets around it. And I know you're against the status quo of a certain superstar that gets chanted possibly returning, but what's your idea of moving into the Royal Rumble?
Who's bigger? Who's bigger than Edge, right? You have to look at the common sense factor here. Who's bigger than the Rated R Superstar? He had the greatest reaction coming back last year, pre-COVID. But if you think about it, look at all of the people that look at all the people that are taken out because of it. With COVID going on, there's so many people who opted out of being in the Rumble because of so many people being in the ring at the same time. But yeah, CM Punk's being chanted. If CM Punk shows up, that's gonna break the internet. It's gonna break everything. But I'm telling you, if CM Punk does enter the Rumble, that's my winner of the match, and he's gonna get his main event at WrestleMania, because that's the only reason why he left the company to begin with, is because CM Punk never got he lost the championship to The Rock at the Royal Rumble in 13. He lost the championship again to another superstar at the Royal Rumble, didn't get his main event, wrestled Undertaker, and never got the main event he truly deserved. But really, who's bigger than Edge? And it has to be CM Punk or that's it. I mean, that's the only one I can think right now that's a pop that could just break Twitter in a matter of moments.
There's been a rumor, and it's highly unlikely, but based on the original Rumble and WrestleMania plans, it still could come to fruition. What's your idea on Dwayne the Earth Dweller Johnson possibly being able to enter the Royal Rumble? I mean, the original plans were slated for Roman versus The Rock at WrestleMania. So what's your idea around that moving into the Rumble? I mean, you said there's nobody else bigger than Punk. I mean, could that possibly be a possibility you're thinking about?
Hear me out here. I'm a very hardcore wrestling fan. If The Rock wins the Royal Rumble, I'm gonna pull a Kyle and I'm gonna punch some drywall, because if you're not gonna push talent that's worth the fuck. Sorry. If you're not gonna push talent that are worth it, then why are you still doing it? You got people like Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods, Big E, Sami Zayn, Dolph Ziggler, who has proved time and time again that he can carry the company. He can do it for the company. He's better than Roman Reigns. If you can't put them out there and win the Rumble, then what are you doing? But if you take a guy like CM Punk, he's not a legend yet. He didn't have that much time in the WWE. He didn't have that much time as a top star. Put him out there. But if The Rock comes back and wins the Rumble, Vince McMahon just needs to sell the company to Comcast in 2023 and just get away from wrestling forever, because he has no idea how to market one anymore.
That's also another big thing. Deals coming across that the WWE Network has been sold. What's the outlook as far as that with the company? I mean, the WWE Network was big for WWE. Is this a response to possibly what's going on with COVID-19, despite WWE still showing a lot of profits, especially with the unethical releases they had earlier in 2020? Or, I mean, what is this reaction?
I'm not under the understanding they sold the network. I'm under the understanding they sold the pay-per-view rights. The WWE is still keeping the network going. They own the network. All of the content on it is still owned.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Peacock is going to show the pay-per-views for $5. If you're subscribed to Peacock through NBC Universal, they're going to show the pay-per-views, and that's it. They still own the content to the original broadcast. They still own the content to their stupid little cartoons they do. All the story times, all the stuff on the network, the old classic wrestling matches. WWE still owns the network. You can still subscribe, but they're trying to help brand Peacock. They want people to go over there and watch the crappy stuff that's on NBC.
I mean, it's also been rumored that with selling the pay-per-view rights that they're offering to sell a bunch more. I mean, a lot of TV networks are changing a lot of things around and being able. I mean, this could be a huge move leading into the future, whether it's positive or negative. We talked about previously how unpredictable Vince McMahon has been rumored. If he wasn't already, how much he has expanded outside of those boundaries in the recent history and still moving forward. And this is going to be the last thing touching on Wrestling Weekly for this segment. But big news: Darby Allin and Sting of AEW. Sting is returning to actually wrestle. We don't know at what extent his contact in the ring is going to be. He had to retire, of course, due to injury after suffering a neck injury that caused temporary paralysis in the Seth Rollins Sting match at Night of Champions a few years ago for the WWE Championship. I mean, him returning to the ring, what's the outlook? I mean, we know he's pushing Darby, and I mean, your previous comments on Sting being an outsider looking in as sort of a mentor, but him returning to the ring, in what facet do you think this is going to be?
I think this is AEW doing exactly what old WCW did by bringing in all these guys that are ex-WWE guys, pushing them to the top for no reason. Sting doesn't need to be in a ring again. He has nothing to prove. Be a manager and stay out of the ring. There's no sense in him getting in there and wrestling. None whatsoever. It's lost its appeal. I'm not even excited. You can say Sting's fighting the ghost of Andre the Giant, and I would not tune in to watch it.
I mean, It's definitely going to be interesting to see. More updates going to be coming on that as that gets closer as well. And something that we're actually going to move on and give a update on is going to be the Deshaun Watson situation down in Texas. It officially came over a few days ago that Deshaun officially requested the trade upon the hiring of the new head coach, which happened to be the quarterback and one of the offensive coordinators, but the quarterback passing coordinator for the Baltimore Ravens. And yeah, that's funny within itself. But him being brought in as the head coach, Deshaun automatically, as soon as it was announced, requested his release, or not release, but requested a trade. And now, just in the matter of probably about an hour ago, Nick Caserio, the Texans' new GM, announced that they have no interest whatsoever in trading Deshaun Watson. So this is a big, and I mean big, big sort of news story coming out of Houston right now. Robert, we know how this has been developing. Yeah, I mean, this is gonna. I don't know. I've known Deshaun as a person, growing up watching him play high school football near me, seeing him develop his way in as far as a player and as a character at Clemson, and then now moving into Houston, being a leader of that offense, and being possibly the only leader on that offense this past year. I mean, this looks like it could cause some drama, and they could go back and forth all the way up until spring training. I mean, this is not looking good. A lot of teams have offered a lot of great trade deals from what's been coming under the radar from Ian Rappaport and Ryan. I mean, not Ryan, but Adam Scheffler. So a lot of people are talking about this. This is a huge story that could cause a big power shift in the NFL. I mean, what's your opinion on this whole situation?
To me, like we said, I think it was last week. Yeah, it was. The Texans are in major trouble right now with them going through coaching staff, regular staff up high. And now you have a GM that is coming out and saying, we want no part in the trade. I feel like, for one, you're starting drama in the media center, stuff like that. You're letting these reporters get crazy views, which is good on the case. But if that is true, that they are not basically refusing Deshaun Watson, who is the player, it's not normal per se normally that a player proposes a trade. You know, it doesn't happen very often. So for them to supposedly be refusing that, I think it's absolutely terrible for the Texans to do. The Texans need to start looking at the future instead of holding on to the past and holding on to what they have now, because if they don't, they're not going to have a team anymore. That used to decrease season by season. So if they attempt to keep him for this season or something like that, there's no way they're going to win a game if your quarterback doesn't want to be there.
And that's definitely going to be huge. I mean, we've seen like running backs and stuff sit out, like Le'Veon Bell and stuff like that. He sat out for the entire season at one point and ended up going to the Jets after sitting out with the Steelers. If Deshaun Watson sits out of Houston, that's going to cause a lot of problems for them. Going back to what Ian Rappaport posted 2 tweets about 4 hours ago off the press conference with the GM and coach of the Houston Texans. GM Nick Caserio, quote unquote, from Ian Rappaport. I just want to reiterate our commitment to Deshaun Watson. We have zero interest in trading the player. We have a great plan and vision for him. We look forward to spending more time with him as spring training nears. And then Texans head coach. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
One, Houston re-signed him to a mega deal. He got a great deal to do what he loves to do, and that's play football. I get it, he's requesting a trade, but don't pout and moan because you had no say-so in a coach or a GM. They don't affect your play. The old head coach went and traded your best receiver. You had a crappy season. Deshaun didn't have a crappy season. The team had a crappy season. Why not just stick it out and play ball and then request a trade next year? If he sits out a year, because they're not going to trade him. They're not going to do it. It's not going to happen. Deshaun Watson's not getting traded out of Houston. But if he sits out, guess what? You're not getting paid. You sit out. Okay, if I was Houston, I'd play hardball with him. You want to sit out? We're not trading you. But if you don't play, you don't get paid. Don't show up. Okay, we'll fine you. You will literally, he can go the rest of his contract sitting out and he'll never touch it again. He'll never touch another paycheck from Houston if I was Houston. But just, come on. I get it. You don't like your situation. You don't like your coach. Okay. Good.
Well, I don't think it's the direction of the coach. Deshaun Watson's people, as far as his agents and people around him, have made it very clear that the problem isn't with Nick Caserio, the new GM. The problem isn't with the coach that they brought in. I mean, he had his choice of and his opinion on who he wanted them to bring in, but that wasn't what the issue is. His problem is with the ownership and the higher-ups above the general manager and such like that have a say on these decisions within Houston. The fact that they allowed Bill O'Brien to do what he did, the fact that basically he is on and taking this. I mean, of course, we know the mindset of this. He wants to go somewhere he can win.
Bill O'Brien didn't have to have the freaking owner's opinion. He was the GM. He was everything.
That's the point, though.
You don't give a head coach that much power because he does dumb stuff.
That's the point. That's why
he's an idiot.
That's the point of why Watson, I'd say, is upset. I mean, by the time the season starts or midway through next season, he's going to be 26 years old. He's still going to be on this contract. And the closest he got to the Super Bowl was, I believe, the divisional or AFC Championship. I forget. It was not this past year, but the year before against the Kansas City Chiefs, in which Bill O'Brien's play calling caused a rift and allowed the Chiefs to be able to move on with that game. Deshaun Watson is an unbelievable once-in-a-lifetime talent, and to see what's going on in Houston, I can definitely understand the frustration with that. I mean, why would he just sit there and take the brunt that he has? I mean, a lot of people have seen, if you've seen this past season, I mean, he got roughed up a lot. I mean, it's amazing to see what he's been able to do at that quarterback position, but it's taken a lot out of him. He has, undoubtedly carried that offense. And, I mean, he was still putting up numbers in which I believe he had the most passing yards in the league this year at the end of the regular season. And that's without that star receiver. So, I mean, it's nothing against Deshaun Watson. I mean, he wants a place to where a team around him can match what he can bring to the team, and they can have a winning season. So, I mean, that's the outlook. Looking at, talking about, we were trying to get to it earlier, Texans' new head coach David Culley offering more on the Deshaun Watson situation, quote-unquote, saying, the reason I am in this position today is because I know he's going to be a Houston Texan, and that's going to be the strongest words yet, as said by Ian Rappaport. I mean, we'll cover it as it continues. This is a developing story right now. Deshaun has not responded at the time of us being in this segment, has not responded to these comments made by both the new head coach and new general manager. So we expect a comment out of him or his or the PR around him as soon as it's available. But as we move on from that developing story, we're going to head into the next one. Deshaun Watson now heading into the NFL conference review. The Super Bowl is now set. Kansas City versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I'm waiting for it. Because I didn't want it to get to this point. I knew as soon as they beat Washington what was going to happen. I knew as soon as they beat the Saints what was going to happen. So, I'm not shocked by this. But
okay, let's not spend this segment breaking your arm here. You got it. We got it. You got the Bucs in there, but what are they going to do? Are they going to win it?
Nope.
No.
No.
I hope not, because I'm tired of the Tom Brady talk. Like that's what I'm trying to get at. I'm tired of it. It's
And
been
you know what?
it's been a few days.
I'm not even watching the chat. I'm not even watching the chat, but I'm gonna probably in about 10 seconds, Alpha's gonna type up on there. I called it. Buccaneers are going to win the Super Bowl, and they're not. They're just not. Mark my words. Tampa Bay is not winning the blankety blank Super Bowl. It's not happening.
Oh lordy. I'm dumbfounded at this point, just based on what all has happened. I mean, it's Robert. Go ahead. What's your opinion? Heading. I mean, we're going to get more into it as the Super Bowl nears. Of course, we have a watch party for it, but I mean, I I have no words. I have no words. What's your outlook on this game? I mean, there both in both conference championship games there was a lot of lot of ref mistakes, and I can't stress that enough. So go ahead, Robert. Give us your analysis based on what we're looking at here heading into the Super Bowl.
What you said about the ref mistakes, it seems like this whole playoff for this season in the NFL has been filled with stupid ref mistakes. Like, you look at the Chiefs versus the Browns, the call that was made there, and then this conference, both these conference games were definitely questionable by all the refs on both sides. But I just think about how cool is this that we finally are getting a really cool moment to look at. I think, of course, Patrick Mahomes
Don't
is the
say
next
it.
best thing.
No, do not. Do not. I know you're going to say what I do not. Do not. Do not say this is a passing of the torch moment from the next goat from one goat to the next. Oh! I'm done.
Oh, Josh is in denial, but
I'm
Tom
done.
Brady is one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. I'm not a big
hit the
fan
nail
of
on the
him,
head.
but he's one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. But Josh is in denial, so we can let him do that. So it's going to be a really cool moment to see who
I'm going to
is
say
really
the same
top
thing about
dog for
Mahomes
the
in a
season.
few years. It's going to be the same argument I have for Mahomes in a few years. Everybody's hyping up Mahomes. Oh my God, he's the next greatest of all time. When you have freaking Tyreek Hill and the receiving core he has, of course you're going to. When Tom Brady has the teams that he's had around him, he's been carried by defense for freaking years. And then, of course, the offensive talent he's had around him time and time again. I mean, are we really going to act like the Buccaneers are in the Super Bowl because of Tom Brady this year? Look at their receiving core. Look at their team overall. Are we going to act like this? I mean, is this going to be really what we're expecting out of this?
Yeah.
Tom Brady is, I don't care what anyone says, he's still one of the best quarterbacks of all time. He has 6 rings on his fingers.
He won a Super Bowl with the crappiest receiving core he's ever had, and his defense was mid-par. So please tell me how Tom Brady is not the big go.
Where?
When they beat the Rams.
It was the Rams.
They had the
Realize
number
what
one
you just
defense in
said.
the league, did they not? Was they not the number one defense in the league?
And did they not have basically a better defense?
Did they lose?
Better
No,
defense
but did they
this
lose?
year.
But did they lose?
Better
But
defense.
did they lose?
Yes, they
They
did lose.
lost.
Okay,
lost
just
to the
because
goat.
you have the
big
number one.
goat went out and goated them.
What was his defense that year? What was Brady's defense that year?
Not as good as the Rams.
Not as good as the Rams, but it was still a top tier defense. Look at the Rams
still had
offense.
the better offense.
Look, the what?
They had more talent on their offense than New England
Boy.
did. Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth about to go.
No. Oh, I'm
And
about
what
to
you
get
said
hit.
about Patrick Mahomes, he runs out of defenses when blitzes are coming and throws no-look passes while he's running and hits almost 90% of his targets. So
Are
I
we
don't want
gonna
to hear it about Patrick Mahomes.
Okay. We
having
got ESPN.
all the offense and shit.
We got ESPN posting Patty Mahomes no look passes. Meanwhile, you got Matthew Stafford doing the same exact thing in Detroit, and that's not getting posted. It's the same thing that I'm talking about here. That it's just it's what you got to be looking at. How many stars are on Detroit? You have Matty Stafford. That's about it. How many stars are on Kansas City? I can name about 5 without even trying. So,
Kansas City just won a Super Bowl. What do you think they're going to do about media?
Well, I know
they're going to focus on the
that.
team that just defended this is about to defend their Super Bowl
championship. Well, no dip, but that, I mean, are we going to look? It's going to be biased.
Are you seriously going to sit here? Are you going to sit here and you're going to judge Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes for having weapons? What does it take to make a fucking team good? You need weapons.
Well, yeah, I mean, we're calling him the greatest of all time.
They did it.
We're calling him the greatest of all time, but I mean,
he is the greatest of all time.
He's not the greatest of all time.
Super Bowls.
Yeah,
he's been to 10 of them.
He's been to 10 Super Bowls with stacked teams all the way around him.
Are you crazy?
Give the same thing.
What are you smoking?
If Drew Brees had that same thing through his entire career, we would be calling Drew Brees the greatest of all time.
And they have failed in the
kidding?
NFC Championship game time and time again.
Are we really going to act like
give me one Super Bowl where a quarterback was in there and he did not have superstars around him and they won? Give me one.
I probably couldn't, and I'll give you that.
Because you can't.
Exactly.
Because you
okay,
can't.
But you don't see how many of those are we calling the greatest of all time? I call Peyton Manning, in my opinion, has the argument.
Been to 10 Super Bowls. Ain't none of them been to 10 and won 6.
Yeah, and ain't none of them had 10 super teams in a fucking row. Sorry about that, but damn.
10 are you crazy? Go look at the New England Patriots roster when they went to a Super Bowl, and I guarantee you're going to go, oh, Tom Brady had Julian Edelman and Gronk. That's it. He had Edelman and Gronk.
Are we going to act like those aren't super
You tell me
talents?
when New England had tell me when New England had a running game.
Well, I mean, it's easy to be able to when we're talking about, okay, they don't have a run game yet because all they have to do is throw checkdowns the whole time and run it up the field. Anybody can throw 5 yards and get run after catch. Okay?
Shut up.
Oh my God.
Shut up. Don't disrespect the big goat like that. He's the goat.
Okay, well, hold on. Here is your goat. We're going to be moving on to our Going for 2 segment, and get ready for a tangent.
Now you done got me heated before I start talking about my balls.
Get ready for a tangent here. New head coach, new athletic director, but a still long road ahead for the Tennessee Volunteers as they look to attempt to rebuild again.
Never happen.
Smart ass.
Be quiet.
He's fighting about it.
Balls are going to win another national champion, or not another, but a national championship next year. I promise.
Okay.
I'm totally not talking out of my ass.
What are you talking about? Chess Club?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay. Listen.
Roll Tide.
Tennessee has had its issues. Look, we got that. Their recruiting violations were probably going to get banned from the postseason for probably 5 years.
About to say NCAA hasn't even
hadn't even come out.
Investigation.
But what I'm saying is you brought in an AD from UCF who did a good job down there. But why in the hell did you bring in a coach that had Frost had his sloppy seconds and went 12-1, then went 10-2 or something like that. He fell every year, and then he went to 8 or 6 and something or 8-6. Why are you getting a regressing head coach to come be the head coach of the University of Tennessee and say we're going to rebuild? It doesn't make sense to me. And I came to Tennessee right when they hired him. I got here, and I'm like, everybody's going to be happy. I haven't met one happy Tennessee Volunteer fan, including myself. I think it was a stupid hire, but I know why they did it. Because you're not going to get the big flashy name head coach, while we're under this postseason ban. So their plan is to keep this dude around, and if he succeeds, great, we'll keep him. If he fails, who cares? We'll go get Hugh Freeze. We'll go try to get Lane Kiffin. We'll try to get the next hot, fresh, big, splashy name to come. And then, boom, Tennessee comes back on the radar, and we go win us a national championship in the next 10 years.
Oh, what? Well, you say that. I know Robert's had his opinion. Robert, you being a Tennessee fan as well, what's your outlook on the Volunteers' future? As like we mentioned, they haven't close to filing
Shut
with
up.
the
Just
NC.
give what you're saying. Give it to Robert. Give it to Robert. Don't start running your mouth.
I think that for me, I am from Tennessee, so my thing is the head coach that they hired. I'm not so happy about, but honestly, I don't think they were going to do much better. You're looking at a Tennessee team that just lost half of their players. Tons of recruitment violations in the past from Jeremy Pruitt. Don't even get me started on Pruitt. Oh Lord. But they weren't going to go out and get some big flashy person, because who wants to come to a Tennessee where they've lost a ton of their players, a ton of their good players, and have to coach and rebuild that back up? None of your big names are going to go there. They want to win national championships. Tennessee so much, but if this coach is the real deal and we can go out and say have a good season and have more than 2 wins is what we had this season, then yes, it's great. But if he goes in here and he falls flat on his face like Jeremy Pruitt did, then it's just going to be the same loop over and over again of Tennessee looks real good. They keep on taking these big strides and stuff, and then they fall flat on their face. So I really, really have good hope for this coach coming in, that he can turn Tennessee around and put them in the right direction in college football. But it's going to be a long road ahead, especially for us Vols fans.
My big question is, and I think this is something that is on everyone's mind surrounding this whole debacle. When is Tennessee going to get that McDonald's sponsorship?
Shut up.
Shut up,
I'm
Josh.
sorry. I had to.
You know what, ladies and gentlemen? That's the last Tennessee Volunteer thing we're going to have until we win a national championship. So
is that going to be a commitment?
Thanks, Josh, for ruining our hopes of a Tennessee fan. Fucking dirty Clemson fan.
Oh, Lordy. Well, I mean, are we really going to act like that's even going to be a possibility within the next 5 years? I mean,
shut up. I said 10.
Well,
I said 10.
Well, even that. I mean, you're looking at this. You're bringing in the guy. I mean, yeah. I mean, didn't UCF beat Auburn like 2 years ago? But I mean,
oh my God, that was Scott Frost's team. Hell, he put a team together, and then you hire a guy that lost more and more games every season after he had an all-star squad.
I mean,
why?
I don't know. It's confusing to me as well. I mean, Tennessee has not been too. If
you don't know, you should stop talking.
No, I know, but like Tennessee has been they pulled the trigger too quick on a lot of these decisions that they've made over
You also need to remember that whatever you say, I'm driving past your house on Tuesday, and I will stop in.
I'd say if you stop in, you better bring some breakfast. That's on me.
Don't you hurt my balls, bride.
All right, but real quick, we're going to go to a quick commercial break, and then when we come back, we'll be talking about the Daytona 500 odds that just got released a few days ago, and talk about that along with the Gone in 60 segment with Robert Harding, and of course our interview with Unforgotten Shadow. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
I'm hopeless in the crossfire. There's nowhere to go. I'm holding my desires. My heart overflows. The only direction that I'll ever need is a deeper connection that's leading me. And I'm lost in your love when you hold me. Just hold me, 'cause I don't wanna run from your heartbeat. Your heartbeat, no, 'cause I'm lost in your love.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. Let's go ahead and get that orange off the screen real quick. Now moving to the Daytona odds released, coming for the Daytona 500, and a lot of interesting names, a lot of interesting developments. Right here, we have the top 30 in the odds on the screen right now, and at the top, last year's winner, Denny Hamlin. He's got an 8-1 chance. The odds are saying in Vegas right now. And there's a group of 4 tied for second. It's kind of interesting. The whole Penske camp of Joey Logano, Brad Keselowski, Ryan Blaney, and last year's Cup Series champion Chase Elliott all tied for second with 10-1 odds. And I'm not sure if you can see right here, Terry, but I mean, there's a lot of interesting names on here, I'd say, to possibly go out here and win this one. Robert, I know you're looking on right now. Give us your opinion on the list and what your outlook is for the Daytona 500 as we near.
My opinion on the list is it doesn't really matter. Like, who the hell cares? The list, literally, and I'm looking at like your set all the second place guys basically. Look how many of them were in a wreck last year. Daytona is wild, and your odds to win this race are they're literally they're either very high or very low. Like you don't. It's a track where you can't control your own destiny, which really sucks. But paying attention to the actual list and what it does have to offer, Denny Hamlin, and I don't know why people haven't got this. You know what Denny Hamlin has done in the past 2 Daytona 500s that he's won? He stayed in the back and waited for all the action to happen. And then all of a sudden, look on the last 2 laps. Oh, here comes that white 11. He's going to win another one. I mean, you look at Joey Logano, Ryan Blaney, Brad Keselowski. Ryan Blaney finished second in the Daytona 500 last year. He's been known to run really good at plate tracks, run really good at Daytona, really good in the draft. So he's always got a good shot. But these guys, like the Penske guys, they ride on the edge so much because they want to be out front. They want to be leading this thing that half of them, half the time, are just wrecking. And that's one of those things that sucks about Daytona. Going down the list, Bubba Wallace, 25-1. I actually agree with that pretty well. Bubba Wallace is a very good plate racer. And with that new equipment he's going to be in, that's probably going to have a little bit more speed. It's going to be a better body on it. You know, they're basically getting Joe Gibbs cars. They are. So it's going to be a pretty fast car. And then the thing that I'm looking at is Ross Chastain. And a lot of people are going to argue with me. Why in the hell is Ross Chastain 30-1? I get it. He is a pretty okay driver and stuff like that. But to me, he disappointed last year in the Xfinity Series. He should have brought that car to victory lane, but he didn't. And at Daytona, I haven't seen him in the Cup Series plate race enough. So it's a lot different than the Xfinity Series. So I don't think that he's going to do. I don't know how he's going to do, but I don't think he should be that high up on the list, especially as not a rookie coming into the Cup Series, but his first good ride in the Cup Series. Ryan Newman, I think, should be a little bit higher. Looking at Eric Jones, I also think he should be a little bit higher. Kyle Busch should be lower to me. He doesn't show speed to me at the plate tracks, and I don't see him as a very good plate racer. And then my one big thing, and this will be my final thing, I know I've kind of ranted for a minute, but David Reagan is 150-1. David Reagan, in the last Daytona 500 that he raced in, which was last year, he finished, I think, 6th or something. Very good plate racer, can get in the mix of things, and he can surprise people. And I get it, the equipment's not there and stuff like that, but I think David Reagan should be a little bit higher on this list.
You know what I'm shocked, and there's a lot of names that are missing from this list as
Yeah.
well. Alex Bowman, not in the top 30 odds. Kyle Larson making his return to the Cup Series, not in the top 30 odds. Heck, even looking, I don't even see even as the full SHR camp here. I gotta look. I think 3 out of the 4.
Briscoe isn't.
No, Briscoe is. He's sitting right there at P17. He's there at P17 at 40-1.
Oh, I see it.
Oh yeah, so Custer's right above. So yeah, I mean, Hendrick is getting underrated here. Kurt Busch isn't on this list. I don't see him anywhere. And one thing, if Kurt Busch, Alex Bowman, or any of those Chevy guys aren't on the list, Ryan Preece, who is going to have to race into the race, is currently sitting 100-1.
No, he's not. He's chartered with JTG.
The 37 does not have a charter.
He doesn't?
No, the 37.
No, they sold it.
Yeah.
Holy shit, I did not know that.
The 37 does not have a charter. So, I mean.
Hold on.
What
Because
the hell
I'm
were they
butting
thinking?
I'm butting in on this. Where's Bubba Wallace on that list?
He is sitting.
Like
he
10th?
is. No. He is 13th, 25-1.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give you your first. It's not a prediction. This is a spoiler.
Calm down, Paul Heyman.
Bubba Wallace in the number 23 is going to pull a Dale Jarrett in their first year. He's going to win that motherfucker. Watch and learn. He's going to win it, and then they ain't going to win another race the rest of the season.
Oh, Lord.
I feel like that's the Daytona thing, is like crazy upsets, and then
it's going to push a storyline.
So.
There's a storyline that's going to be pushed here, I feel like.
Bubba Wallace is going to win the 500. He's going to win it. It's going to be 1, 2, 3. JGR. Hamlin's going to be pushing the 23 to victory lane. And then he's going to win it. Watch and see.
I'm going to use my one F word real quick. Why in the fuck is Ty Dillon on this list, but Alex Bowman isn't?
What? Hold on. Wait a minute. Shoot me right now if you want to. Ty Dillon is the best out of the Dillon brothers. The only
Shut
reason.
up.
No.
Shut up.
No, he is 10 times better than Austin. You can hate on me for that.
Austin Dillon is a NASCAR champion. He won a championship in trucks. Ty Dillon has not done shit.
Shut up. You've been saying stupid shit all fucking podcast.
Here we go.
The hell are you smoking?
Shut up. Austin Dillon's at least won 2 races. He won the 500. He won at Texas.
Look at the difference in equipment.
They're the same fucking equipment.
No, it's not.
Stupid?
Are you saying RCR is the same equipment as Jermaine?
Yes.
No.
They give the motor and the body to him. They have a fucking agreement.
Okay, Hendrick gives the motor and the body to Chip Ganassi. That definitely ain't the same damn thing.
Kurt Busch won at Kentucky, didn't he?
Yeah, okay, and?
It's a winner.
Oh, my Lord. So,
Kurt Busch ran pretty damn good.
We're going to compare.
What's Ty Dillon doing in RCR equipment? Not winning races. Wait
a minute. Are we going to literally act like the Hendrick Motorsports engine camp is matched by the ECR engine camp? Are we going to act like that? The same team?
No, but I'm telling you, but you brought it up. You said, look at Chip Ganassi with them.
Yeah, but it's still a
Ty Dillon ain't won shit. Ty Dillon's struggling for a top 10.
Who won the championship last year? Who won the championship last year, and how did Chip Ganassi fare in that?
Oh my gosh!
They
lost
it.
Chase Elliott won on a fucking short track at Martinsville and won another short track at Martins. All right,
but
Phoenix.
Still,
shut up.
What eliminated Kirk? I mean, literally.
Chase Elliott.
Here we go.
You're making
Chase
my fucking nose bleed.
Ran his fastest lap on 40-lap old tires. I'm not discarding the championship, but that car had to be legal as hell in NASCAR.
Oh, here we go.
You're making my nose. You're making my nose bleed. I'm sitting here with toilet paper in my nose, and my shit's bleeding with your stupidity.
Oh my Lord!
If you look at the races that Ty Dillon ran in the Xfinity Series compared to his brother, His brother has like 5 or 6 Xfinity wins. Ty Dillon maybe has like 1. I don't even think he has any in the Xfinity series. That's absolutely ridiculous. Ty Dillon is not the better Dillon brother. I don't know what the hell you're smoking today, but you are having some problems, my friend.
I still think he's the better Dillon brother. I want to see
You
him.
need to go get your vision checked or go get a mental test done. You're sounding like President Biden.
I want to see him matched up. Like I want to see him in equipment the same as Austin Dillon in the same RCR equipment.
Austin Dillon would run circles around him.
They were in the same fucking equipment in the Xfinity series, and Ty Dillon got shit on. Please shut up.
Here we go.
You're making my head hurt with your stupidity today, Josh.
Noah Gragson is on this list, but Alex Bowman isn't. That makes no sense. Noah Gragson hasn't even made a Cup start.
Hey, y'all stay off my buddy Noah. Stay off my buddy Noah. We got a connection here. Shout out to Noah.
So we really want to talk about saying stupid shit, and yet he comes to the defense of Noah Gragson over Alex Bowman.
Noah Gragson was a Grand Marshal for American Ethanol. He tweets at me. We talk to one another. Yeah, I'm going to my God. You're damn right I'm going to my buddy's defense. Noah Gregson's a damn good driver. I don't agree he should be on the list. Alex Bowman should be ahead. But Noah Gragson, he's a better racer than Ty Dillon. You know who else is a better racer than Ty Dillon? My puppy. My dog.
He's just trolling now at this point. That's what it is.
I'm not trolling. Get Ty Dillon on the show. Get Ty Dillon on the show, and let's ask him. Let's challenge him to a go-kart race, and I guarantee you 9 of us beat him.
9 of us? What? 9 of us?
Reddick isn't on the stand.
Unless you're considering the people in chat. I mean, that repeats out in chat saying... Right now, the poll for who is winning the Daytona 500, we're asking the chat right now.
Bubba Wallace.
One says other. We don't know what theirs is.
Bubba.
You can put that in chat, whoever voted other. And then we've had 2 votes so far. One voted other. The other one voted Denny Hamlin. So we have a split decision so far. But, I mean.
You know who's going to win the 500? Dale Sr.
That's messed up. Okay.
He's got a better chance than Ty Dillon does.
I'm done.
Ty Dillon.
I'm done.
Fuck Ty Dillon.
I'm done. I might walk away now.
Hey, you know one thing knows for certain is his car insurance did not save 15% on his car insurance by switching to Geico.
Well, of course, he's not dating Aaron Rodgers. What the heck? Was dating Aaron Rodgers. Okay.
Whoa.
But repeat out in chat, he says his vote's Matty D, so that definitely is going to be a good pick. I'd say Matty D could be a possible pick to win the Daytona 500. I like that one. I've been a big Matty D fan. But now moving on into the Gone in 60 Seconds part of the show here. And Robert, you got 5 questions, man. You got a timer on each of them. You know how this goes. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Starting out with.
Let me ask a question too.
I'll give you the first one, just whenever you're done asking it, I'll start the timer. Go ahead.
Okay, Robert. How dumb is Josh by saying Ty Dillon's better than Austin Dillon?
On a scale of 1 to 10, I would say a nice 544.19 because we're gonna win Las Vegas tonight in OMA. Tune in, by the way. I think it's at like 8 Eastern. Watch the 19 cross the finish line on the final lap in first.
Well, thank you. Even though I was getting roasted by Terry, my crew chief comes to my aid after attacking me like 5 minutes ago.
No, you're still stupid.
And that's
still
why
dumb.
You're my crew chief.
Josh.
And that's why you're my crew chief. But okay, that's 1 out of the 5, I guess. Moving on to the next one. He was able to get that in like half the time. We already killed that one. Kyle Larson's scheme got announced. It is a throwback to old Ricky Hendrick and is going to be sponsored. Of course, he is sponsored by HendrickCars.com and Nations Guard, not National Guard, but Nations Guard, which is a car insurance company owned by Rick Hendrick as well. Given the fact that, of course, this is 2 Rick Hendrick-backed companies, despite it adding another layer beside HendrickCars.com, do you think this could also lead to other sponsors looking at, hey, we could possibly get in there and get good advertisement because, that 5 team's going to be desperate for sponsors about midseason, I'd say.
Okay, so everyone's screaming, oh, Kyle Larson has sponsorship. That's not sponsorship. That's Rick Hendrick putting his sticker on the side of a race car, okay? That is Rick Hendrick's company. He doesn't have any sponsorship right now, and all the companies on the outside looking in are looking at the same damn thing, which is Kyle Larson is getting sponsored by his boss. That is like, I don't even know what that's like, but Kyle Larson, no, big companies aren't going to want to sponsor this guy right now until maybe mid-season or something. But right now, first of the season, he just got reinstated. No one's going to want to sponsor him. But they got to start scrambling and looking really, really quick, or else they're going to come to mid-season and not have any funding for their race car.
And you were able to get that with a few seconds left on the board. Now moving to the third question. This one. What is, in your opinion, how should I say this? I got to think about how to say this question. What is your favorite, of course, to win the Daytona 500? And give us one underdog and one guy that is expected to and the reasons behind why.
So you want 3 picks, basically?
No, just 2. One expected and one underdog.
Okay, so my expected pick might throw you guys off a little bit. But I think that Kyle Busch, and I know I said that about the list, but I think Kyle Busch is going to break through and finally get his first Daytona 500. He had a bad season last year. Well, it wasn't terrible. But in Kyle Busch terms, it was bad. So I think that he's going to break through and get his first Daytona 500. And I think it could be maybe more of a luck win. My underdog pick is actually, it's not really an underdog, but I'm going to go with, I haven't thought about this, so give me just a second.
We'll separate that into 2 questions. I'll give you another 60 seconds for the underdog.
Okay. So yeah, my big pick is going to be Kyle Busch. I think he's going to break through and win the Daytona 500. And then underdog, I will say, will be, I really want to go with a guy who did actually pretty good until he, killed everyone at Daytona, if I remember right, is Tyler Reddick. He tried to pull a slide job and didn't really work for him too well. He actually wrecked Kyle Busch. So I think Tyler Reddick is a fairly good plate racer. He's coming up, and he is definitely the best out of last year's rookie class. So I think Tyler Reddick is my underdog pick.
Two good picks there as well. Moving, we've been talking about this this off and on, but several teams have been making changes, making driver changes, and such and such. And now we are looking at somebody saying "Hey baby" in chat. Kind of confused on that one. Hold on.
What's up, Kitty Cruiser?
Yeah, who is Kitty Cruiser?
What? I don't know.
I'm kind of confused on that one, but that's unusual for me. But looking at the overview of NASCAR and the teams that have changed around, what is the top team? Rock NASCAR. Hi, honey, that's my right. Oh, Rock's lady is joining us.
Oh.
Okay, hello. Sorry about that. Hello, Miss Rock NASCAR. But final question: what team?
Go Rock!
Terry out of nowhere. But out of all of this, out of all the teams in NASCAR this upcoming year, what do you think in each series is going to be the breakout team that could possibly be the team that wins the title this year?
I'm going to start with Truck Series. I'm going to go with a probably pretty obvious pick. It's going to be GMS. I believe they have Zane Smith returning. Is that right? Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's right. So I think they're going to be a big pick. They have Sheldon Creed for this championship again, and then my Xfinity team pick to have a breakout year and maybe not win a championship, but a very good season is Ryan Sieg Racing. That team has made major strides, especially Ryan Sieg. He's gotten top 5s, top 10s, first top 5 this season. I think he's going to break through and finally get that first championship. Not first win, and then I think is going to have a breakout year is Alex Bowman. I think that he's been on the verge, especially since last year he made it to the round of 8. I think Alex Bowman's going to go out and for the first year get multiple wins and possibly even make the championship 4 or maybe surprise us and get a championship.
I mean, that's not a bad pick, especially with how that 88 showed strides improvement last year. But now,
Hey, can I get in on that too?
Go ahead. I'll give you 60 seconds. Terry's going to give his take and gone in 60 seconds. Go ahead.
So I think that the Truck Series team, I don't watch much truck. We'll skip trucks. I don't watch much of it. Xfinity wise, I agree with Ryan Sieg. I think Ryan Sieg wins Daytona. I think he wins Daytona. He wins the opener, clinches his way into the playoffs. He might get multiple wins. He's a good road course racer. He's made great strides across the board at that team. I think he might get multiple this season. In Cup Series team, I'm going to say I think Michael Jordan's new team is going to put some good strings together. They're not going to be good at the beginning of the season, even though I think Bubba Wallace is going to win 500. I think he's going to do good on dirt. He'll do good at Bristol. He's a good dirt racer. He might go out there and win that race as well. And they're going to punch their ticket to the playoffs very early, and it's going to be a huge story going in. He's probably going to get eliminated round 1, but, look out for the new team. I mean, it's got JGR equipment, and they're going to give him 100%.
Well, there you go. There's our predictions, or as far as Terry and Robert's predictions. But I have a prediction about our next segment. We're hitting the white flag, ladies and gentlemen, here on the Xperts of Racing Sportscast. And I know we've kept both of them waiting. And we're going to talk to Unforgotten Shadow, of course, first, bringing him on. Unforgotten, you got a copy, buddy? You there?
10-4, boss.
All righty, man. I know you've been sitting and waiting and listening to all of the ranting and raving that we've been doing so far. But joining us here on the Xperts of Racing Sportscast, you just got off of a season of your league being the Shadow Racing League. And I mean, it was a great season. I was able to get in a few races and even commentated one with old Repeat. I don't know if he's still in the chat, but a lot of great racing that was there. Definitely just going to go ahead and start out so you can go ahead and get that promotion out there. How would you be able to get contacted if somebody wants to join that great league? I mean, coming off of a lot of guys that are in N&R racing there, and I mean, a lot of great guys, and it's a great league all the way around. How would guys be able to contact you to be able to join?
Well, I don't have any social media accounts, but I guess you can hit me. It's on Xbox, so if you want to jump in, you can definitely contact me via Xbox. My gamer tag is Unforgotten Shadow. It's UNFORGOTNSHADW.
And that's it right there, of course, on the screen that you're seeing right there as far as his gamer tag. That's exactly how it's spelled right there. But, I mean, you came off of a great season, and then, of course, heading into Season 2. What's your outlook heading into Season 2 as you and your group of guys get prepared with all the adjustments to the schedule and stuff like that? I know you released a early version of the schedule that's not finalized yet today, but heading into possibly Season 2, what's your outlook going into the next season?
I'm hoping it's just. I'm hoping it's just gonna be just as good as Season 1. I definitely wasn't expecting it to be as good as it was the first time around, but I had a couple help from my Alpha, J. Paul, and Papa Bear to help me out and get things situated with the league while I was gone from work. And they all did a phenomenal job with that. But I mean, we got there's quite a few guys coming back in. And I'm hoping it's just going to be just as good, if not better, as season one.
Definitely, and going to go ahead and give a shout out. Foles is just gifting everybody the sub in chat. He dropped 124 bits, and he's just on a gifting spree so far. So thank you for the bits, and thank you for all the gifted subs out there as well. He's going ham. Everybody that's viewing, he's going ham right now. But moving on to the next question, of course, one thing that separates a league from other leagues is, of course, what they do for their drivers and such like that. What's one thing, as far as your drivers and the guys that race for your league, what's one thing that separates your league? We know that you give out a large amount of prizes, so go ahead and elaborate on that.
Yeah, a lot of them kind of. I mean, they're all from like the runs, different leagues that I run. NNR, American Ethanol, Turn Down for What. Um, but the season one prize was 2 tickets to the 500, and King Mathers won that, and I talked to him, and I had him reserved, but well, my friend had him reserved, and I guess she kind of like procrastinated on that, and this was like June of last year when she got him reserved, and I guess she forgot all about him, and they won an extra $450 a pop just to make to seal that we still had the tickets. And I wasn't gonna, that was kind of outrageous, even though the 500 is definitely worth it. But I talked to Mathers, and he was definitely okay with coming down here in August for the Coke Zero 400. And that's for the season 2 winner. Obviously, it's I'm putting up another 2 tickets as well. And for second place is going to be 2 Xfinity tickets for you and your missus, of course. And then third place is $75, fourth place is $50, and fifth place is $25. I mean, I'm blessed enough to have a job to where I can, do this, and definitely super blessed to have all the guys in the league to run for it. Even if there were no prizes, I'm pretty sure it gives them something to do, since football is done, is just about over. Baseball is over. I mean, if there's some basketball fans out there, by all means, but I mean, I don't really care too much about any other sports besides NASCAR, baseball, and football.
Definitely, and the outlook. There's always, and we're going to stray away from the league a little bit, but there's always something that gets people involved in racing. And going to go ahead and ask you, what got you started in NASCAR and being a fan of it, and wanting to do stuff like this as well? I mean, what got you started in league racing and being a NASCAR fan overall?
Well, I grew up watching with my dad. He was a diehard Earnhardt fan, and I wanted to be just like Dad growing up as a little kid. So I grew up liking Earnhardt, and then when he passed away and Kevin Harvick took over, I remember this one. I believe it was at Milwaukee when Kevin Harvick. I think it was Xfinity. He was. I think he was like 4 laps down, and he was just so fast. He got all his car. He he got all his laps back, and then he ended up winning the race. I mean, that's when I was like I was a low key Harvick fan. But I mean, I was still the Earnhardt Jr. fan as well. But I mean, just then once Junior retired, then I pretty much full blown Kevin Harvick. But I mean, just running in the leagues, it's just like I've always wanted to be, I'm very competitive, and I always wanted to run with the best. And if you want to be the best, you got to beat the best. And I know definitely the leagues that I'm in are definitely the top preset leagues. But when it comes to custom setups, I'm probably at the bottom of the barrel.
Well, you showed out, I know, a few nights ago in NNR, covered by Mr. Repeat out in the chat. Uh, be sure to go follow or sub to his channel and turn your notifications on for him. He posted a lot of great leagues, covers a lot of great content. Very generous with his community very generous to his community as well. And I mean, I got to say, he's got to be one of the top commentators in NASCAR Heat, if not the top commentator. but you were able to go there and perform very well. You even at times looked um, like you were up there in the top group of guys and were able to put on one hell of a performance. When it comes to racing with a lot of guys like that in NNR, what does it like? What makes you constantly be that fast? Like, how are you able to stay with those top group of guys like King Mathers and guys like that within NNR?
Definitely. Just just practicing for sure. But I mean, like, I mean, any chance that I get to run when I'm home from work, like if I'm bored and I don't want to feel like playing Call of Duty or Madden or anything like that, I'm like, you know what? Why not just try run a couple races just to see how I do for this, and like just tweak little things here and there, and just try a different line or try a different entry or coming out of the turns, or just watching the people in front of me who I'm trying to catch and pass, see what they do, see if I can capitalize on their mistakes if they mess up coming out of the turn or hitting the apron in the turn. I mean, there's a lot of things that go into it, but I mean, I go back and I watch some of the Cup guys. I mean, because I've run with a lot of the Cup guys and the other leagues, and I definitely I want to be racing on Thursday nights instead of Wednesday nights. But I mean that's a long ways away, and I know I got a lot of things I got to approve for that. But it just really goes about how well you tweak everything and whatnot.
Definitely, and looking in chat right here, Repeat even saying it himself, and he said it a lot on that stream. Mr. Unforgotten Shadow was bad fast at Indy. And Shadow, I think we've been hyping up something a lot over the past few weeks. And speaking of Repeat and speaking of you, we talked about how generous you are to your drivers, and of course, Repeat being a big part of the community as well. Well, Rock, I'm just wondering, are you still here in the Discord? I mean, and also, are you watching the stream? I just want to make sure you're here.
Yeah, I'm still here. I'm watching both.
All right, alrighty, man. Just real quick, gonna have to do something. But looking at this, you can go ahead and unmute because we're gonna be talking to you here for a second. Just want to make sure, are you and your wife watching on Twitch right now? Because you do not want to miss what we're about to show you.
She is watching on Twitch upstairs. Absolutely.
Go ahead. I want you to go ahead and watch if you can as well, if that's possible.
Already, I'm in front of my PC.
Alrighty. Go ahead and Mr. Repeat has an announcement for you currently. We've been waiting on this for a bit, but we have an announcement that's been waiting for you for a long time, and now we're very happy to make the news break first here on the Experts of Racing Sportscast. Here we go.
What's going on, everybody? Hey, how are you? Repeat here. Now you can actually see me, right? Man, please, by all means, excuse the mess in the back. A whole lot of NASCAR stuff that I just bought. Some guy's collection. Going to be going through it all. But I tell you, over the last 9 or 10 weeks, we've been watching the Shadow Racing League, headed up by the one and only Unforgotten Shadow, right around 5 o'clock on Sunday afternoons. And the one and only King Mathers has been able to run away with that by about, 30-point margin, give or take, and won himself a pair of tickets down to Daytona. Well, with all that said and done, Shadow and Xpert and I were kind of talking, and Xpert reached out to me this morning and said, hey, we got a better idea. There's going to be one hell of a group going down. I think there's about 10 of us so far. It's going to be Shadow and his missus, Papa Bear and his missus, Alpha York and his missus, me and my missus, Xpert and his missus. So there's going to be a whole group of us going down to have a great time. Daytona, unfortunately, we couldn't go to the 500 because of COVID, only selling to the season ticket holders, and any other tickets were just like $500 a pop, undoable. And I I can't say anything bad about that. It is what it is. So we all kind of got together talking after the championship race at Talladega, which, by the way, I would highly suggest going back and watching that. J-Pie and that draft package that he put together is phenomenal. But Xpert reached out to me this morning and said, hey, we got an idea. And him and Shadow were talking. And I know that all of y'all know of the great work that Rock NASCAR does in keeping a very, very limited to almost no drama community very, very well maintained. Rock just does great. He stays up all kinds of hours watching races, posting on the Facebook page about the winners, and sometimes certain nights, I think it's like Thursday nights, there's sometimes 10 leagues running, and he's able to maintain. I don't know if you've ever seen a picture of Rock NASCAR's media room. It's huge. The man's gone out. He's bought additional monitors. He got a nice little iRacing setup going. He's done a whole lot for himself, but also for this game that we all really, really love. If it weren't for the love of racing, none of us would really know each other. Let's be honest. So Xpert and Shadow decided, hey, you know what? We owe. Rock, we owe you. Buddy, it's time to pay up a little bit, So I mentioned there were about 10 or so of us going down to Daytona. We'd like to make that 12. On behalf of Unforgotten Shadow, the leader of Shadow Racing League, Xpert Racing, and his great podcast, and me right here with NNR and American Ethanol, Turned Down for What, and of course, so many great leagues and communities out there that everyone appreciates you, Rock. In case you didn't already know, come on. My vote for new community manager. Hands up. Yep, I'm ready to go. Rock, we hope that you'll be able to come on down. Pair of tickets on the way at will call or however you want to do it, buddy. You and your missus are absolutely cordially invited to join us down in Daytona in August. You ain't got to worry about the tickets, buddy. They're taken care of. I hope to see you there. Oh, by the way, Rock, first round's on me. Take it easy, buddy. I'll see you somewhere around the track.
So just like Repeat said, Rock, we've been wanting to thank you for so long, and we thought this could be a possible way to be able to do it. And we wanted to announce it here. Talked to Shadow, and we talked it out. And Shadow, whenever he came on, he wanted to bring you on with him and make the announcement here with us. And like Repeat said right there, you are cordially invited to join all of us. And Repeat even joining now in the booth here on the podcast live channel. You are cordially invited to join us down there in Daytona for all the stuff that you do for us and being able to build up what we've set here. We want you to be able to join us, and we love that you're here, man. And we want you to be able to join us down there in Daytona.
Oh my gosh, I am left speechless. It's very, very heartfelt. Cannot thank Repeat, Shadow, Xperts, this show for everything. It's overwhelming right now. I'm really left speechless.
Well, Rock, I got one more surprise for you while we're in this. I know you don't live near Daytona, right? Do not worry about your hotel. Your room will be booked when you get down there for you and your missus for the whole weekend. Friday through Sunday, you have a room. I'll be down there as well. You guys will catch me, but yeah, your hotel will be covered as well. All you got to cover is travel to the place.
Oh my gosh, I cannot thank you guys enough.
Rock,
Very heartfelt.
Rock, you're more than welcome, boss. I'm never one for surprises. I hate giving surprises and I hate receiving surprises. Like when I was talking to you through Facebook, I wanted to tell you right then and there, but I kind of would have ruined it for tonight. But like I was so excited. I was every time me and Expert talk, he's like, "Are you ready for it?" I'm like, "I'm so ready for it." But just going back to, I think it was like Heat 2 or Heat 1 when you and I would run around with Skibowski and all the other guys. Like, I mean, that's when we first met, and ever since then, it's just like, I mean, may have fallen off to the chat or whatnot, but I mean, I always know you're there, and for me, and I definitely know that. I hope you know that I'm always there for you, and this is, you know, just a small token of just showing my appreciation, as well as Experts and Pete's, your appreciation for everything that you've done for us, and just for the Xbox community on NASCAR Heat.
Shadow, I can't thank you enough, man. Each and every one of you guys, I can't thank enough. I mean, it's all about all of us giving back to the community that we all love, and we all have such a passion for racing that we all want to see this thing grow and give back to the community, and that's what we all set off to do, and that's what we're doing. Slowly but surely, we're making it better and better every day. And by all of us doing what we're doing, all of our hard work has not gone unnoticed.
Definitely.
No, and you're at the top of that, Rock.
Yeah, I mean, none of us would be where we're at without you. And like Shadow said, we wanted to just show our appreciation. I know Pete came in here, and I know this is going to be his podcast debut with us, actually being live here. And Pete, I know you're joining in. If you want to say a few words as well, you're more than welcome, buddy.
Rock, man, absolutely. Any time that you come in the stream, you're dropping bits. You're just there saying, "Hey, best wishes to the guys in the guys on a track, guys in the booth, whatever." I don't know how many times I've said thank you, I appreciate you, and I really just hope that it never, ever, ever feels old to you. What you do for everybody is phenomenal. You've taken a lot of your own time. You've taken a lot of your own money. You've invested more in Heat 4, Heat 5, even going all the way back, Rock. I mean, how many years have we raced together at the restrictor plates? I mean, going back to 09, buddy. You have been around for a very, very long time. Probably one of the first people that I actually added to my friends list way back when. So, Rock, please don't ever feel like all of your time, all of your effort, all of everything you do for this community has ever gone unnoticed, because you are probably the forefront on what most of these leagues put on track. Everybody knows that, hey, man, after I get out there and I get this done, Rock's going to have something to say. They go out, they like it, they follow it, they, comment on it, they, share it, they do whatever. Rock, man, thank you. I
don't think I could have said it better myself. And I mean, of course, thank you for what you do. And I also got to thank Pete and Shadow, and of course Rock. Thank you for joining us on today's episode to be able to make this happen. We wanted to make this announcement for you, buddy, and I'm happy you were able to join us.
Guys, I love each and every one of you, and this is total team effort from everyone involved that makes this all happen. It's not an I in team, and it's just not me by myself. I mean, without the broadcasters, without the streamers, I wouldn't be able to do what I do. And so it's definitely a total team effort from everyone, that we all band together and we come together as family and a racing community to grow.
Well, Rock, without you and putting all these people together and doing what you do, I know we were talking and you were telling me about all the stuff you invested to watch all of our streams. Buddy, I can't count a stream, even when I first started, that you didn't tune into. Mm-hmm. And to give back a small token of my appreciation, and I'm not going to use those hotel rooms because I didn't realize I was 3 hours away from the speedway. I'm not using them. I'm not going to use them at all. I'm 3 hours away. I'm going to drive down there at probably about 9 and start drinking on repeats tab. So
if you want to start drinking on repeat tab, you want to get there early because I'm gonna get there at 8:00. I'm gonna party.
So Rock.
I've
to
already
you and your
said I'm
missus,
going to have to be a designated driver.
We've taken so much of your time, and she's allowed us to let us have you for hours at a time, starting at about 7. We get you, and you're with us. You're family to us, and to give you just a little bit of something to say thank you. It's nothing in comparison to what you do for us, whether it's bits, whether it's given just
overall promotion.
subscriptions,
Yeah,
viewership.
promotion, everything.
You are family, and this is so great. I wouldn't have missed this one, even though I'm in Columbia, Tennessee, and it's freezing out here. But I would not have missed this one just to give back to you, because you deserve a lot of our appreciation. So you were fantastic, Rock, and for Mrs. Rock, you're just as great.
Oh, well, thank you guys. I sure appreciate everything. Very, very heartfelt and very much left speechless. Like I said, I love each and every one of you guys. I look forward to working with each and every one of you guys and listening to you and watching your broadcast and promoting, and it just really makes you feel good that it's all coming together.
Definitely, and like I said, I mean, we can't say it enough. We thank you and we love you, Rock. To Mrs. Rock NASCAR, thank you for, like Terry said, allowing us to have him, for everything that he does, the hours that he spends just staying up and watching and re-watching streams and putting together promotions and stuff like that, and announcing winners. I mean, it's amazing, and I hate to see this episode end, but unfortunately, like we always say, all good things must come to an end. Once again, thanks to Unforgotten Shadow, Rock NASCAR Repeat, Terry, Robert, all the guys that put this podcast together, and also looking forward to a bunch more episodes going forward. It definitely, Miss Rock. I mean, it. No, thank you for, like I said, thank you from all of us to y'all. Thank you for what y'all do, and like that, I don't even know what to say. I'm just happy that he's going to be able to enjoy himself with us down in Daytona. I'm just happy about it. But looking over, want to give a few shout outs before we end this one. Looking at the American Ethanol NASCAR Cup Series, these guys have started their playoffs for this year. Of course, you can see the 10 names on the board right there that have made it into their playoffs, and it's going to be interesting. We'll be giving you updates on them throughout their playoffs as well, to go over what they have this season. I'm going to go ahead and give a big congratulations to our co-host, Mr. Terry Radford, who has now been announced as the NNR, No Name Racing League, iRacing head commentator as they move over to iRacing. Of course, you can see the handles if you want to get involved on the action. And of course, Vols fans account as well. He's part of our partners list. It's even listed right there. So go ahead and give him a follow. Trust me, it's something you don't want to miss. He's worked his tail off to be able to reach this level. And I know all of us here are certainly proud of him to have reached that level. But with that being said, that's going to be the end of us, as we, of course, have reached the checkered flag. Join us next week as we go live once again at 5:30 with the same crew. Guest is to be determined, but of course, we'll always have somebody here with us here on the podcast. And for Robert, Vols, Rock NASCAR, Unforgotten Shadow, and of course, Repeat, we want to thank you guys for joining us, and we will